now, your host, Brandon Hilder. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Opening Act, a podcast interview show where we interview musicians and more. I'm your host, Brandon Hilder, and on today's episode, our special guest is Ryan Marvell. Ryan is a DJ. His name is The Dub Revival. How are you doing today, Ryan?
Oh, I'm doing absolutely fabulous. How about yourself today, Brandon?
I'm doing good. It was a good Tuesday. Got out of
It's a
school a little bit
beautiful
early, and
and it's packed full of all that snow on the ground. So I was gonna say this
Yeah.
makes it all that much more fun.
with all the ice. Oh man, it was a sheet of ice this morning. Whew.
There's nothing like flying around in your car, right?
I guess you could say that. The most fun and scary activity all at once.
Exactly.
Oh man. Ooh, who needs the professional drifting when you got ice in Montana? Jeez.
Oh, everybody becomes a race car driver as soon as the ice hits the ground, my friend.
That is true. So, Ryan, could you tell me a little bit about yourself and what exactly the Dub Revival is?
So the Dub Revival was a project I started with my older brother about a year ago. About a year ago, I had started a whole new life. I kind of started a new job. I was, coming out of a very rough spot in my life. And I was coming into my own at the time, and I really needed something to hang on to keep myself busy. And my brother at the time was trying to teach me how to learn how to DJ. He wanted to teach me how to perform and how to mix dubstep. He had tried over a course of 3 to 4 years. We just couldn't, no matter how many times we got together, we couldn't seem to make it stick. So this past year, we got back together. We started hanging out. This time I took it very seriously, and I absolutely love dubstep, and I love electric dance music and what it does for the community and how it makes people feel. It really saved me a really rough part of my life, and I really, really hope that it can do the same for everyone else. So that's why the year ago we were just playing around in his car one day, sitting outside of Street Burgers, and we were just throwing names back for us, and he was like, it'd be so cool is if we, started a DJ duo set, like bringing back the old school, like 2010 through 2020 dubstep years, and call it the Dub Revival, the revival of dubstep. And it stuck. From that point on, he started teaching me how to further understand this, and I bought my own equipment. I was brand new off the market, so I really, couldn't get in contact with other people or get myself out there. So I decided to start hosting my own backyard show. At that time, I was just putting out, anything on the internet. Hey, anybody that wants to come play, any local bands. Very funny story. The thing about that is that Take No Shit, Jake Heap from Take No Shit, Calvaria, a couple other these good local bands, Acts of Volition, they all came to my own backyard to start helping me play, and start helping me put on a show. And so, the first couple times, I introduced myself, I got to meet some of these really good people, and it really took off. They were really wholesome people. They really had my back, and they really were in it for the one thing that everybody should be in music for, and that's to, enjoy the music together and have a good time. So one thing led to another. And after that, we started reaching out to other venues and started understanding after the third time of the lady across the street calling the cops on us because we were very loud. We understood at that point it was time to reach out to other venues. So we started going out to different places. We hosted our own show at Gibson Park. Things were going really, really well. And then out of nowhere, JK from Take No Shit offered me a spot at the Freakers Ball, which inevitably I didn't know at the time would be one of the strongest takeoff points of my of my path as a musician. So from this point on, where we met face to face to do a face to face interview in Butte is really where I started molding myself as a musician. The dub revival started coming alive. From there I went out to Kalispell about 2 weeks ago, and it was probably one of the best shows I've ever played aside from Freakers Ball. So,
Wow.
I was going to say it was absolutely amazing. So, getting back to our original point, a little bit about the dub revival is that I came into this, I came into electric dance music and dubstep, learning, just enjoying it, going to festivals, going to shows, and I always wanted to learn how to perform it. I always wanted to learn how to do it for others. And I never took it seriously until about a year ago. So if I told you a year ago, if you asked me a year ago that if I would believe I was here now, I would tell you you're absolutely insane. And that it's not 100% possible. So a little bit, like I said, a little bit about what, the dub revival is that it turned into something so beautiful just out of the fact of, a wholesome attitude, out of just, wholesome for the community and for the crowd, trying to give back that music to the crowd, trying to give them just as good of a time as music gave to me. So it was a little bit long. I hope that answers your question, though.
It sure did. This happened pretty recently then, like the whole taking off then. How many shows have you played in total, would you say?
So in total, the craziest part about this is that I've played 7 shows in total, including the one I just played 2 weeks ago. The first 4 of my own I've hosted on my own, managed, brought in, booking. I brought in different people. I booked different bands. It wasn't until I started, getting into getting into other venues that I really started exploring the dub revival as a solo project. So the weirdest thing about it is that I started off actually as a host, with a production company instead of exploring my own project solely. So I was doing both at once, and it just took off out of absolutely nowhere. And I think that it's partially because of the reason that, my older brother who taught me how to do this, met one of his favorite, DJs of all time, one of the biggest names in dubstep. And he told him that night when he opened for him, and he said, listen, man, you're going to get exactly as much out of this as you put into it. And all this time, I thought I wasn't really putting as much effort into it as other musicians were. Only come to find out that this is my 7th show. I have 8 released mixes. I've got beyond the amount of, triple the amount of connections I ever thought I was going to have at this point. And it's only been about a year. I think February 24th will be my 1-year anniversary. It just happened all so quick. And I mean, all I have to say is that if you do it for the right reasons and you do it for the crowd, you don't do it for money or ego or anything, man, it takes care of you. All by itself. It really does.
That's really cool. Yeah, that really
Absolutely.
did just take right off then. Yeah, 1 year. Dang, that is almost no time.
I'm just as shocked as you are, my friend.
I recently saw you perform. I don't remember quite when it was, but a few weeks ago at the Battle in the Pit in Butte, Montana. How would you say that show went in whole?
So that show was a massive success in my opinion. The funniest thing about that show is that I really only built that mix specific towards the musicians and towards the people that were going to be helping put this event together and playing it. I really didn't expect a large turnout, and I didn't expect nearly as many people as showed up. And before we knew it, by the time we were even 15 minutes into the first set through Dank Crypt, there was at least 30 people in that ballroom that were not musicians. So by the time I got on and looked out and seen the whole back wall full, it was packed. You know what I mean? And I was absolutely blown away because, like I said, I didn't expect it to be much. So the fact that it turned out to be 40, 50 people extra in turnout was a massive success, and it was very well put together. For these guys just started promoting. That was their very first show they promoted through Dark Mass Productions. My buddy Tyrell and Acts of Volition. and for the first show, well, I can't say that because I'm not sure if he had hosted other shows before that, but as far as I know of, and he did phenomenal. It was very well put together. There was a lot of wholesome people there. It was altogether a very positive energy, and that's what really makes the show the best, is when not only the crowd is, is full of positive energy, but so are the musicians, and so is the event itself. So
it was a good show. Everybody, and I kind of saw this throughout the night, everybody was kind of like one big old music family. It was really cool, like especially all the musicians, how everybody was cheering everyone on while they played their sets and sticking around for other people to play their sets.
So I know you're interviewing me, but I do have a question for you, my friend.
Absolutely.
So me and my buddy Jonah from Take No Shit are actually, we were talking about it, and we were watching you dance to some of the bands and sets, and I caught you really getting down to American Philosophy.
I did,
and
yes.
So, yes, I wanted to ask you. I was gonna say, was that your favorite band from that night, or did they almost just make you jump on Spotify right then and there and download their music? Or
So, American Philosophy was actually the third band that I ever interviewed, and
really,
so I got listening to their music a long time before that show, and actually,
wow,
Jake Heeb was actually the second guy I interviewed too, but American Philosophy, I really like their music a lot, and they know that. Yeah.
Oh,
but
wow.
I do definitely
awesome.
have most of their songs downloaded. Yeah.
That is absolutely awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I'm glad you got to have just as much fun as we did, man, because
it was a good
show. I know you were there on business, but everybody should be having a good time no matter what. So
yeah. I hope to go back to they're playing a show in March and another show in May. Yep. I hope to go to both of those. Those shows, I think, are both in Helena. So I definitely am gonna try to go to those shows.
No, yeah. I was just absolutely curious. I'm glad to know now. I'm just, like I said, I'm glad you had yourself as good a time as we did, man, because that's all that matters. So
yeah, I have become a really big fan of American Philosophy. That's for sure.
We're actually doing something at the Do Bar as well on the 1st of April in Great Falls. Not sure if you'll be able to make that one as well, but that's going to be really exciting. Something huge for us down here in Great Falls as well. All the bands and a lot of really reputable local Montana bands will be down there.
Wow.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. So, if you can or you're in the area, we'd love to have you out.
Yeah. So, what would you say, what was your first favorite band that you ever had?
My first favorite band I ever had.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that is a hard one.
It really is.
I really would have to say it'd be a toss-up between either Biohazard or System of a Down. Wow. Biohazard was some a little bit more. I can't see if it's punk rock or if it's more of or if it's not punk rock but punk metal, or if it's a little bit more of a regular metal. But
yeah, I would consider it more of a metal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I was going to say, so my biological father actually got me into them when I was young because he had all the CDs laying in his case. And I just started popping them in and playing them. And Biohazard and System of a Down were definitely the first two I definitely grew a liking for.
Yeah. I think the first favorite band I ever had was probably Lynyrd Skynyrd. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but my dad got me into them when I was pretty little.
Dude, they are awesome, man.
Yeah. I actually saw them in concert in 2016. They're cool. They're a cool band. Yep. And
yeah, man.
Since then, I've gotten more into punk rock. I've gone through all the punk rocks. I've gone pop punk, hard punk, really raw metal punk, all that stuff. It's all good, and I love it all.
Like Bullet for My Valentine, or
oh yes. Yeah. One of my favorite punk groups right now is 10 Foot Pole. They're pretty cool guys. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they started in 1983, and they're still rocking. And I'm actually going to interview their lead singer pretty soon here too. It's actually like in a few weeks, so I was not expecting to get that one to happen. So yeah, that was pretty cool.
See, you keep your head down, you stay doing the right thing, you stay focused, and look, and things come to you.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say is your favorite part about playing music for the people and stuff? Like, what's the best part about that?
My favorite part about playing music for people is looking out in the crowd and seeing the smiles on everybody's faces, seeing how quickly and how aggressively that they're moving their body because they feel the music as much as I am. On top of that, one of the best feelings in the whole world is getting down from the stage and starting to pack my things up and having all these people rush up to me and, say, hey, man, thank you so much for a great time. Thank you. Your music is awesome. Do you have a SoundCloud or Spotify? I say those are the best feelings, not for the aspect of for my own fame or for my own, publicity or anything. It's for the simple fact that I've done them. I've given them some happiness, and that's all I want to do for anybody in the world. So all I want to do in the world is make other people happy. So that's got to be the best part, man.
That's a great answer. Yeah.
Hey, man. Music's all about the love and peace. It's all about having a good time together and getting down and enjoying that feeling all together. So everybody comes together for one night to agree on one thing. That's music, man.
Yeah, music is definitely that one thing. Ooh.
Yes, sir.
So what has been your favorite venue to play when you've played live?
The Do Bar.
The Do Bar? That's
the Do Bar in
Great Falls?
Yes, the Do Bar, hands down. They have a massive venue and a massive dance floor. They actually have two stages, two event rooms. So, and one of them is on the patio, which I've played before. It's a smoking area, but it's outside with an open roof. So you can still, when it's warm out, you can still get that inside feeling, but yet you're outside still enjoying it, breathing the fresh air. Other people like it because they can smoke cigarettes outside and still enjoy their drinks. It's very nice. They had a very nice lighting tower and lighting system, a killer sound system. It was really good. It was a really good atmosphere. All the bartenders and all the staff were really, very kind and respectful. They supported me 100%. They had nothing but compliments. It's just been absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's good. I always love hearing about venues that treat people like that, where it's all just overall positive and yeah. It's good stuff. Oh,
it's the absolute best, man. When when the promoter's on point with you, when they're on point with the rest of their team as well. Because the fact of the matter is, man, is that you don't come across music is full of people who are going to take advantage of you and who are going to use you for their own reasons. And it's really important to keep yourself focused on what you want out of music and where you're going. Because you walk into these scenarios and you don't know what you're looking for, and is that passion, the reason what you do it for, can be taken from you. So I mean, being able to be on point with these other people, and to be so wholesome and be so respectful, it was an absolute honor. And it was a really, really awesome venue. The lighting was awesome. The sound was awesome. The crowd received it really well. It's a very well-known venue. It was just all the way around. It was all the way around amazing.
Good. That's really good. What would you say has been your favorite concert story that you've had, or if you want to share a crazy concert story?
So, I was a showgoer before I was a musician. So, and I guess that kind of built up to, having the experience and knowing a little bit what I'm looking for as far as dubstep in the community goes. I went to a lot of the larger festivals like, Bass Canyon. I've went to a lot of, the smaller shows around town, or, not just town, but around Montana. We've went to smaller camping festivals and like Kalispell and, I went to smaller bar shows where a lot of the larger dubstep names just came in and viewed. And long story short, I would definitely say my most favorite show was easily Bass Canyon at the Gorge, Washington, 2018. It was a festival full of 25,000 people. One of the largest names in dubstep, and now as a promoter as well. Well, has been for a long time, but hosts his own festivals. Is Excision, and he hosted Bass Canyon for the first time in 2018. So with that being said, we were really excited. We were like, wow, he's put together some of the biggest shows, the most notorious shows out there that any headbanger or any dubstep enthusiast has ever went to. So this, we thought we'd go check it out. And man, it was a 3-day camp festival. It was, one stage on the edge of a canyon, because that's what the Gorge is. It's an amphitheater on the edge of a cliff, overlooking a canyon. And the scenery was beautiful. It was all around amazing, because the one thing that really draws me towards dubstep and it draws me towards the electronic dance music community is that everyone is so accepting and loving of each other, no matter who you are or what you believe in, or what's going on at all. They're very accepting and loving of you. So it makes it all that much better of an experience to go and enjoy the music along with them too. It had to be hands down the best show I've ever attended in the whole time of me ever going to shows. So yeah, I was gonna say Bass Canyon 2018 at the Gorge is definitely the best show I've ever been to.
Wow, that's cool. Dang.
Yeah,
that is a lot of people at that show, though.
Oh, there was 25,000 people, and there was at least 15 to 20 DJs playing each day. And they all had about 45 minutes to hour-long sets. So these festivals are intended to run from almost 12 o'clock in the afternoon to about 2 o'clock in the morning. So hence the reason why they have it overlooking a canyon, so nobody can hear it, because there's about 500,000 watts of bass. You can feel it in your car rattling when you're pulling up 2 miles outside the hill. Yeah. So it was probably one of the most massive and super, super positive and outgoing and wholesome shows I've ever been to. And I went to it with my best friends. So
yeah,
it was altogether a great experience.
That's good. Yeah, I've never been to a festival that big. I actually don't even know if I've really been to like a true festival. I've been to some concerts that were pretty big. Like I went and saw Green Day, Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and the Interrupters when they did their big tour. I saw that out in Pennsylvania, in Hershey Park, Pennsylvania. That was a huge show. That was definitely the biggest show I've ever been to. I don't know how many people were there, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
Well, and the funny thing about when people say concerts, shows, festivals, they're all the same thing, just with different details and telling them. Usually a concert is pertaining to a certain genre of music, and that's usually metal or rock and roll, or any other genre really aside from electronic dance music. And then shows and festivals really pertain to electronic dance music, because in the electronic community, it's really a show is one night, and then a festival is usually a camping festival. It usually goes on for more than one day. But they call it a music festival because everyone's celebrating, music.
Never thought about that.
A little bit of knowledge to throw in your day there.
Yeah, one big old celebration of all types of music. I know one of the festivals I really wanted to go to, which I didn't because the tickets sold out in like 20 minutes. I'm sure a lot of other people wanted to go to, is the When We Were Young festival that's going to be in Las Vegas this year, actually.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you heard about that festival, but it's basically every single like popular pop punk / punk band from like the late 90s to early 2000s, like ever. So like Green Day's there, Blink-182's there, Bowling for Soup, Plain White Tees. Pretty much all of them are there. Pretty much anybody you could think of, yeah.
It's kind of like another Warped Tour.
Pretty much. It is pretty much like a just gigantic Warped Tour, and it's just like I think it's only a 2-day festival, actually. Which is wild, because there's like quite literally like 80 bands. and only in 2 days. That's a lot of music for 2 days.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I wasn't able to get tickets to that one. Neither was pretty much anyone. Tickets were like $500 and they sold out within like 20 minutes.
You would think with all the people in the world that you'd have more than enough time and room to think before you have to act.
I know, right? We were like on the waiting list, like ready to just do it. We're like, if we're going to do it, we just got to do it. But
oh man, dude,
we ended up saving money.
Oh man, I was booking a concert for my mom. She's going to Vanilla Ice and Missoula in April.
Vanilla Ice, I love that. I love
yeah, bro. My mom we're from New York, so my mom is huge in the '90s rap, and you know, I mean, she was huge into that, you know, that style of music, and so I was booking it for her on her phone the other day, and I was selecting a seat. Well, I put in the wrong information. I had to back out and go back into it. By the time I went back into it, and went and already put my credit card information. Mind you, this is a 2-minute stand. The remaining 5 seats around it were already taken up. So that just goes to show how quickly things are up for grabs and how quickly even smaller shows like that, you know what I mean? Even though it's Vanilla Ice, it's probably like a venue for 1,000 people, and it was packed within the first 3 days that it was posted.
Yeah. I know. I think it's actually the first concert my dad ever attended was a Vanilla Ice concert. That would have been in like 1989 or 1990. Like right as they initially got like big popular. Yeah.
Holy.
Yeah, so he went and saw them.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Heck yeah. I would say those memories stay with you forever.
He's probably smiling right now as he's listening to this because told me he like went to the concert, like doing all of his little dances, and he was young when he went. So yeah, it's funny. Good old Vanilla Ice. It's like the one song I can rap. Ice Ice Baby.
Hey man, I was about to say everybody's got a little liking Vanilla Ice, no matter who you are or what you are. Nobody may want to admit it, but a little bit of Vanilla Ice lives in everybody.
Yeah. Right now, currently, I'm in a ukulele club at school, and I'm trying to get the teacher of the group, and she actually said we could do it if we really wanted, but I'm trying to get them all to play Ice Ice Baby on the ukulele, because when you like slow it down and play it on the ukulele, it actually sounds really good. That's something me and my dad do. We play it on the ukulele. It's goofy. It's funny though. It's good.
Ukuleles are so much fun.
Yeah, like they're so easy too. I can play ukulele pretty good. I can shred on the ukulele, but like a guitar, I don't know how to play it at all.
See, that's such a contradicting statement that I can shred on the ukulele. It's like, what? You can shred some gnarly Hawaiian music? Awesome.
Yeah. Let me just play you the Vanilla Ice. Yeah. Shred on the ukulele.
Yeah. Oh man.
But seriously though, you can, especially like play it fast and pick it. You can play like all the Weezer songs on the ukulele, and it really sounds like you're shredding when you play those. Oh boy, what are we even talking about?
Back on track.
Okay. What would you say has been like the most oh crap moment of your career?
The biggest oh crap moment of my career.
Musical career, sorry.
So as far as my musical career goes, the biggest oh crap I've had so far was right before Freakers Ball. I was putting together an event with this fellow I had met in Great Falls. He was recommended by my friend. And at the time, I haven't talked to this friend in so long, but he was a good friend of mine from a long time ago. So I was like, okay, no problem. I'll reach out to him. He said he's a DJ, and he's looking, to group up with people to, host events. So I was like, awesome, this might be an opportunity. So we got together, we started talking, and we were going to put together this show at the Elks Club, here in Great Falls for Halloween. And so it was going to be the same night as Freakers Ball. My partner, Jonah, and I, as far as Backyard Productions goes, we were, going to do host an event with this gentleman. At the time, I really held out. I had a lot of faith. I'm very, very kind, and I believe in the best in everybody. Sometimes it gets the best of me because other people take advantage. But I guess the really biggest oh crap moment was when we put this event together and we started talking finances, and he talked to me and my partner, and he wanted us to foot half the bill, and we really didn't have an issue with that until it was almost $1,000 or better to bring in certain equipment and to rent the spot, and that's a very outrageous price to rent a spot. Most of the time, if you talk to the venue, you can play in their spot for free because it's beneficial for both of you. You gain exposure, they gain business. It just didn't feel right. And so, Jake reached out to me from Take No Shit about Freakers Ball and said, hey, if you've got time, I'd really like you to come out and play a set. And at the time I told him, hey, I don't, I'm hosting an event for Halloween. I don't really think I'll be able to make it. And he said, well, awesome. Well, if you get some time, come on down. So, me and Jonah get to talking, and Jonah kind of starts to, realize what's going on, and he starts to talk to me about this. And at that moment, I was like, oh crap, I got myself into something that I didn't even realize was happening. That we were going to end up, paying a whole paycheck, probably a piece, in order to make this event happen when there was going to be no turnout. We were also going to be competing with Freakers Ball that night, so that was double no turnout on that part. So at that moment, I was like, oh crap. I was like, what do I do here? Oh crap. But because I've got wholesome friends and I've got great people around me that truly care about me, as far as in the music scene, especially, they had my back and they brought me out to Freakers Ball and allowed me to play the best show I've ever played with the largest crowd I've ever played too. It was about 1:00 in the morning. And nobody was at the do ball. Well, not absolutely nobody, but the room probably had like maybe 10 people at best in there, and it was packed full of like at least 100 people or more. I closed the bar out. I got on stage and started playing my music, and everybody from every other bar that night that was playing electronic dance music came to the do bar to see my set. It went from 10 people by 1:10, 10 minutes later, not even 10 minutes into my set, that room was full of 50, 60 or more people just in the front, having a good time, smiling, dancing, reaching up to the stage where I was performing on. So it was definitely an oh crap moment. But at the end of the day, if you keep good people around you, that care about you, they'll look out for you, and hopefully you can catch them in time before anything happens. So, I would have to say that was definitely my biggest oh crap moment.
Wow. That doesn't seem like too bad compared to some of the things I've heard, but still not fun when that kind of stuff happens. Yeah.
No, honestly, it wasn't too terrible. I haven't had too terrible of experiences so far, and I think that's just because I have good people around me as well. Jonah is not only my partner as far as backyard productions go, but he's also one of my best friends. And, ever since he came to my first backyard show and we met, funny thing is we started working at Pepsi together before we even knew this. He's really had my back and looked out for me ever since. So, my brother left in Minnesota at the same time, and kind of asked him, hey, please look out for my little brother. And Jonah has done nothing, ever since, but look out for me and have my back. So, he's half the reason alongside Jake, of why I'm at where I'm at, so it's very interesting to think that, metalheads brought a DJ up, the metalheads and, rock and roll heads, they all brought me up with them, and I wouldn't be here without them.
Yeah, Jonah's a pretty cool guy. He this is pretty funny. It was my dad's birthday. As we're recording this, it was my dad's birthday on Sunday, and I put a post on my Facebook. Maybe you saw it, basically saying, "Hey, my musical friends, it'd be like super funny if one of you could send my dad a happy birthday song." And he did it. Jonah did it. It was pretty great.
Yeah, dude, Jonah is an amazing person, and he's also a lot of the reason why I haven't gotten screwed or haven't had very negative experiences as far as music so far either. Because, but like I said before, I'm very, very kind, and I'm sometimes too kind. And, we help level each other out because he's a little too protective sometimes, and he's a little, he's a little too much, no, not too much, but he can be a little bit too, just protective. And he said it himself plenty of times, but that's why we work so well together. And that's why we decided to, start hosting shows together and keep that going because, I'm a very kind person. He's, a little more protective. So we balance each other out and we come off as a great duo and a great team. So yeah, I was going to say if I really had to thank anybody, for keeping me in a good experience, I really have to say it'd be Jonah and Jake, honestly. Through music, I've found my own happiness and I've found, a way to give happiness back to other people. And since I've been a kid, that's all I've said to my mom is that, listen, she's always asking, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I don't care what I am as long as I'm able to help people. That's all I want to do. So, I not traditionally the way I thought I was going to. I wanted to be a pediatrician and all this other stuff, but life doesn't always work out the way we plan it to. So, it was just truly amazing finding music and being able to perform it, and finding somebody that was willing to invest that time in me because my old best friends always talked about they want to do it and they want to DJ and they want to learn how to perform, and when they have their set and when they have their stuff, but never really got up and did it. They never really were motivated enough. And so, once I got through my rough patch about a year ago and I started, doing for myself and I started figuring out who I was, it really took me into who I am. Music really guided me to where I wanted to be and where I've always wanted to be and what I've always wanted to do. So through music, once again, once again, my friend, we prevail through music.
For sure. Well, we've gotten through pretty much all of the serious music questions. So if you don't mind, now we're going to get into a little bit of the fun stuff. Not that already wasn't fun, but get into the goofy stuff.
All right, Brandon, just say I'm not fun then. Okay. No, just joking.
It was a lot of fun.
No, I'm just joking, man. I'm yanking your chain. No, absolutely. I was gonna say, break out if those weren't the fun questions, break out the fun ones.
Those ones are fun to talk about too, but I guess I need to have a new word to say it. Goofy question. Okay. Okay. If you could go back in time to meet any celebrity, who would it be?
Oh, back in time to meet any celebrity?
Yep.
Oh boy, man, I'd have to say it'd be Robin Williams.
That's a good one. That is a really
Robin
good one.
Williams. Robin Williams. I mean, I know I'm probably repeating myself this whole interview, but if you haven't already told by now, I'm all about the positivity, and I'm all about wholesome and love and community, and I'm not talking just in the hippie way of love, peace, and rock and roll and sex. I'm talking about just in general wholesomeness, taking care of one another and being there for one another is what life's all about. So through this, I just keep on saying that it's, I really meet Robin Williams because he's such a wholesome person. He really cared about everybody and tried to make a difference in the world. And, there's no other person in the world to meet like a person who actually cares about other human beings, who cares and values, others' lives over their own. So, if I really had to say, it would be Robin Williams. If you don't mind, I might even take a jab at the second one.
Go for it. All out too.
Okay. Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, nice.
Paul Walker, 100%. He got me into being a car enthusiast that I am today. Ever since I've seen Fast Furious 1, I've always wanted that freaking Dodge Charger. And and before I knew it, I was a huge muscle guy when I was a kid. And before I knew it, I grew up to be a Japanese domestic market lover. And I really loved Japanese vehicles. And later, it's crazy to think that it shaped my love for Japanese domestic market vehicles through the same exact video that started me on loving cars and loving muscle as much as that being Fast and Furious 1. So this is the same car I beloved and hope to own, to this day. Toyota Supra, was started in that first movie. So I would say if I had a second choice, it would definitely be Paul Walker, just because he started a lot of my love for vehicles, and I just would love to have a conversation with him and see, and and just laugh and giggle and see what his thoughts and opinions are on certain vehicles. And you know what I mean? It would be interesting to meet Paul Walker. I think it would. It was very tragic what happened, and I think the message through the rest of their Fast and Furious movies really carries out what they were all about.
Yeah. What well-known song would you say best describes you?
I'd say Happy. I can't remember who it is by. I'm blanking it right now, but I'm going to make this terrible attempt to sing it. But it's more, it's, I'm happy if you feel that you are under the truth, and if I'm happy, I would say that describes me 100%. I can't remember who the artist is.
Is it Pharrell Williams?
I think it is, actually.
Yeah.
I just think it really describes me as a whole person, because that's what my life is all about. That's why I get up every morning and I text these group chats, all the music people, and I text them and let them know, hey, good morning, and I really wish you all the best, and much love to all of you guys, and happy Monday, because life is so much better with happiness and positivity in it. So I definitely think that Happy by Pharrell Williams would really describe me as a person and as a whole. Funny thing is, as far as being happy and passing it on and just being outgoing, you're going to run into some of those people that they're just, they're not on the same level as you. They're a little more grumpier, and they're a little bit, less out there. Funny story, actually, I just got yelled at by a guy on the group chat this morning for it. I texted the group chat about 6 o'clock in the morning. It was like, "Good morning, everybody," and he was like, "Yeah, this ain't cool, man. I'm sleeping." And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." So I was gonna say,
your
there are
phone if you're asleep, then.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. But, I just said, buddy, much love to you, and I hope you have a good day. Get some sleep. I was going to say, because that's all you can do, man. So you're going to run into those people, but I'm happy definitely describes me as a person, because I'm truly happy all the time,
Happy's a good thing to be. That is definitely for sure.
They say stress kills you, so I'm trying to stay away from much of that stuff as possible.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. What would you say is your favorite fast food chain?
My favorite Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box. Wow. This is the second time I've asked this question, and the second Jack in the Box I've gotten.
Oh, my gosh. Have you eaten Jack in the Box before?
I have, but twice and a long time ago.
I was going to say, they have the best chicken and tater melt sandwich I've ever had in my whole life. And I'm a huge fan of chicken. So just having ranch, smushed tater tots, a beautiful fried chicken patty, and bacon on it was just something to make my mouth water. So Jack in the Box would definitely be one of my favorites out of all time.
That sounds really good, actually.
Oh, yes. I was going to say, being in smaller towns in Montana kind of limits your options. So once you get out of those smaller towns, you're just so grateful to see all the rest of those other fast food chains, let alone these really good restaurants,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know where the nearest Jack in the Box is. So I know where I live, we got a McDonald's and is it really?
Yeah,
Dang.
Spokane, Washington is the nearest Jack in the Box. I've literally we've made a trip out to Washington to go to eat Jack in the Box.
Just for Jack in the Box?
Oh man, Dang. It's that good.
That's some dedication.
That is good. It's so good, man. But no, I've searched the area before, and Spokane, Washington is definitely the closest place to Jack in the Box. So yeah, I was gonna say from where, especially in Deer Lodge, I was gonna say you've got probably like a McDonald's and maybe at best a Wendy's or a Taco Bell. Or
I wish we have a McDonald's and a Subway's, and that is it. Subway. Mostly Subways.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's all we have. That's
Oh
okay though.
no!
It's okay.
So, are you more of a person that likes to eat at home, or do you have your fair share of taste in restaurants as well, or?
Well, I don't eat out as much, but I definitely don't hate eating out. I am very blessed to have a family who can all cook really well. Like my mom, my brother, and my dad are all amazing cooks. So I am
Oh
very,
man!
very thankful for that. But yeah, I would guess Wendy's.
Oh really?
Wendy's is pretty solid.
Oh, they have an amazing chicken mozzarella sandwich now. I had it actually before Calso.
Wow. I didn't know they had that. So, what is your favorite fruit?
So my favorite fruit, well, and that's kind of jumped around so much time. I think recently, if I had to say right now what my favorite fruit is, it would have to be a pear.
A pear.
I don't know why. I used to really never like pears growing up as a kid. But pears are just so delicious. I mean, they're not overloaded with sugar. They're, right in the middle of being, sweet, but they're also kind of firm yet soft. I mean, I used to really, really like mangoes. Apricots are extremely good too, but I definitely think if I had to choose, it'd be a pear for sure. What about yourself?
I really like Fuji apples. Those are great. I could eat a lot of those. I also like bananas.
Funny thing, yeah. I just had some on my counter the other day.
Yeah. Now, to go along with the fruit question, if you had to be a fruit, what fruit would you be?
Oh, these kind of questions have always tripped me up. I remember one time I had an interview for Dairy Queen when I was 15 years old. The manager asked me if I could be any animal, what would I be? These always trip me up. Gosh, if I had to be a fruit, man.
If you had to be a fruit, it could be a book.
I had to be a fruit, well, man, these ones always get me. So, I guess if I had to be a fruit, I would definitely be a pineapple.
A pineapple.
Because they've got a rough skin on the inside, but they're sweet on the inside, and their little hairdo looks freaking awesome. It looks like a little mohawk or a little afro. It's freaking cool, man. Let me tell you.
The pineapple.
But about pineapple. I don't know why. I don't know what I don't know why it comes to mind, but it does.
Yeah, I would probably be I'd probably be like a passion fruit.
A passion fruit? That's oddly specific.
Have you ever had a passion fruit? Those things are great.
Oh man, I was gonna say, but I mean they're delicious. But you are the passion fruit. You're not gonna eat yourself, are you?
I don't know. If I had to be a fruit, that's what I would be. The passion fruit. Or it could be or a dragon fruit. Those are cool.
Dragon fruits are really good.
Those are really good, yeah. I haven't had fresh dragon fruit in a while. Ooh.
Did you hear about these light blue bananas? They've been all over social media, but these light blue bananas are in another country that taste like vanilla ice cream.
What? A light blue banana? What? I'm going to search that up right now. Light blue banana.
Yeah, I was going to say, please search it up because I've looked into it myself, and apparently it's a real thing. I thought it was fake or photoshopped, and apparently these bananas really do grow, and I'm not sure if it's Africa, and it tastes like vanilla ice cream.
And it is said to have an ice cream-like consistency and flavor. What the heck?
Yeah, dude.
Where do these grow? I want one.
Oh man, I was gonna say, could you imagine how much you'd have to pay to get a dozen of those, man? That's probably like a tropical fruit.
Oh yeah, it's way tropical. If we think dragon fruits are expensive, geez.
Yeah. A dragon fruit or a passion fruit. I was gonna say those are all exotic.
Those are expensive too.
Yeah, they're more along the lines of exotic fruit.
It's always the Southeast Asia. That's where they're at. It's always the exotic ones that taste the best, too, and they also end up being the most expensive. Southeast Asia to Northern Asia is where the blue Java, is it Java? Java? I don't know. The blue banana.
Yeah,
Probably
Southeast
Java.
Asia.
Dang.
Man, that's wow. I was gonna say, it's weird. Blue bananas, killer hornets. I mean, not so many. There's good and bad things coming out of Asia in the past 10, 20 years. So.
Oh, I'm dying. Okay. If someone wrote a biography about you, what do you think it would be called?
They write a biography about me. What would it be called? Okay, so The Great Journey.
The Great Journey.
I'd have to say it'd be The Great Journey. I'm a very not, let alone a wholesome and kind person, but I'm just very much about what life is all about, and what our true purpose is here, and I definitely think it'd be called A Great Journey just because of the fact that I'm always on the hunt to make other people happy, or make the world a better place, or to do as much as I can for other people, and I really think it would be called A Great Journey, just for the simple fact that, I mean, it was a giant, challenging, but yet inspiring, not inspiring. What would I say? It was a giant, experienceful, journey, that I was learned a lot of. I guess, instead of a biography, you could definitely even write a book at that point. Like, I could talk forever.
Just a storybook. Just a nice big book, yeah. You already did answer this at the in the mini interview we did, but this is my favorite question to ask, so I'm going to ask it again, just for the people who may have not seen that, or I don't know. So this question is from my favorite TV show, Chuck. So if you were on a deserted island and could have one sandwich with you, what kind of sandwich would it be?
Brandon, I said it with confidence last time, and I'm going to say it with confidence again. The Philly cheesesteak all the way, my friend. There's just something so delicious about, thinly cut meat with melted cheese in between and bell peppers that just, drives me up a wall. I mean, and Philly cheesesteak is easily, considering that I'm from, it's more of a Philadelphia thing, but it's really big down on the East Coast, especially in New York. And man, I haven't had a great Philly cheesesteak ever since I left New York. And finally found one here at the Jersey Mike's here in Great Falls, Montana. So I was going to say that if I had to, I don't think I could ever really get tired of a Philly cheesesteak, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good sandwich all around.
Yes, sir. What about yourself?
Ooh, so I'm a really big spicy Italian guy. Oh, I love that kind of stuff. Like a pepperoni and a salami and some other things on there, and like a pepper jack. Ooh, that's what I'm all about. And I have a friend who used to work at a Jersey Mike's, and he told me the right way to make a sandwich. And I never did this before because I've actually never been to Jersey Mike's, but he said what you do is you got to take the red wine vinegar and the olive oil and the Italian seasoning and put it on your sandwich. So I started doing that for my sandwiches. Holy moly. So good. so freaking good. Oh.
Oh my gosh, you just made my whole day with that. He said, Mamma mia.
Well, yeah, the people that are listening and you, if you haven't tried doing that with your sandwiches, you're missing out so much. It adds such a great flavor.
I think you've inspired me, my friend. Yeah. I think that it's needed.
Okay. So, what advice do you have for any of the students at my school that may be listening? This is I try to get students to listen to this. I don't know if it's worked, but the ones that are listening, what things do you have to say to them?
Oh, this might be a long response. No, I'm just kidding.
It's okay. All okay.
Yeah. What I would have to say to them and to the rest of the younger kids and the younger generation coming up is to be kind to yourself and be kind to others. You know what I mean? Think about other people, but also think about yourself. And I know that's very hard to understand. It's very hard to think about. But just try to do right by everybody. You know what I mean? Try to do right by yourself as well. Just try to go out every day and try to find the smallest thing in your day. The one positive thing in your day, the one good thing, even if it could have been the toaster worked the right way this morning, or your car started, or you know what I mean, as simple as your bed sheets were, weren't you ripped off your bed when you woke up. I mean, it could be a small.
That is the worst thing in the world, and it always happens.
I threw that one
to
in
me.
there. I threw that one in there because I knew a lot of people would be able to relate to that.
You wake up and they're all like, ugh. Okay, sorry. Anyways.
No, you're totally fine. That's awesome. Just take any positive. Just take all the small good things and embrace it, and hang on to them throughout your day, because you're gonna have bad days, and you're gonna run into, especially growing up at your guys' age, you're gonna have a lot of difficult challenges, and the best thing to do is to stay positive and just keep following yourself. You know what I mean? Trust your gut and strive for the best. That's the best advice I can give to them. We need a lot more love in this world, and if we teach them young and we show them that it's cool to be polite to other people, to be respectful, to think about other people, I think that they'll take to it. I think they'll understand that it really is cool. You know what I mean? My older brother, when we got close about a year ago, said the same thing I always knew when I was growing up as a kid, and it really rang inside of me, because it's what I will always want to tell other people. It is very cool to be responsible. It is very cool to be, to have a routine and to follow, what you're supposed to be doing, and to follow yourself. And feel confident in that, because you don't come across a lot of bad things in life necessarily, but at the same time, you're going to counter a lot of difficult things in life. And it's just important to run with the mindset of, just being kind and respectful of other people, you know what I mean? And following your heart, following what you believe in. If we can start it now, then I really feel like it'll make an impact. So it's cool to be responsible. It's cool to be, respectful. It's cool to be, considerate. So that's definitely what I would tell them. You know what I mean? Just love everybody and love yourself, man.
For sure.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. The world needs more love. That is definitely a thing.
It really does, man. It really does. It needs a lot more love. It really does.
Yeah. Has anybody ever told you that you should be like a motivational speaker? Because you really should. Yes, I've heard that actually quite a bit, and I appreciate you saying that. But should do that, man.
And that's kind of why every one of my shows, I kind of try to run around and introduce myself and get to know people, and I comment on these group chats, and I make posts every morning, and it's because I'm trying in every way possible to pass positivity along to anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
We're never going to change the world if we don't take the first step. You know what I mean? If we don't show people how it's done, how are they ever going to know? So I appreciate you saying that, but that's why I've been told that plenty of times, and that's why I try to make it known to everybody on my shows, especially with music, that it's all about us as a team. It's all about enjoying a good time with each other, and that's what it'll always be.
It's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. My brain's just thinking of this. Is motivational dubstep a thing? Because if not, it should be. Like,
Oh my
get like
gosh.
get the electronic dance music playing, and then all of a sudden it's like these like motivational speeches, like get some like Martin Luther King Jr. speeches playing during it, and like some other things. That would be epic.
Could you imagine? Love yourself. Be kind.
Make that a thing, please.
The motivational dub.
You could go play like school assemblies, motivational dubstep. Jeez. Yeah. That's you should do that.
That's a good idea. Wow, I can't believe you just dropped that on me right in the middle of nowhere. I was like, wow, the motivational dub. That's actually interesting.
Motivational dub.
The motivational dub. That's interesting.
Oh man. Yeah, that'd be fun to listen to.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I have asked all the questions I've wanted to ask. So now, if you want, I'm going to turn the mic over to you if you have anything you want to say, if you have any questions you want to ask me or whatever, or if not, we can, yeah.
Honestly, I was going to say, you definitely brought in my brain today.
Good.
I was going to say, I've definitely, I was a little tuckered out after work, but I can't believe that I was this expansive on the conversation, especially after, how much I've done today. So I was going to say, I mean, I think I've said almost more than I expected to even say. So I think I'm pretty much out. I've had just an amazing time talking with you, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie, it was a little bit of a rougher day at work today. So, you definitely helped me in a way that I didn't even expect to be helped. So thank you. In all honesty, and it was just an honor to be a part of this.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on. Yeah. It was a good thing. Good to talk to you, and same thing to you. You definitely brightened my day a whole bunch, and I feel motivated now. And now I just really want to listen to motivation dubstep, but like, yeah.
Like I said, love yourself. Be confident.
There you go. That can be the next side project.
Yeah, after I catch up with all the requests and freaking collabs I need to do that I'm like freaking 6 months behind on.
Oh, man. Well, it's been a blast talking to you. Thank you so much for being on the show, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I definitely wish you luck with your future and all of the many shows that you're going to play in the future, and I guess all of the collabs as well. Hopefully I can go ahead and see you a few more times in performing, so yeah.
Oh, thanks, man. I was going to say, I appreciate that. I mean, this is far from over, man. This is just the beginning, brother. I was going to say, it'll be only a matter of time before I see you at another show again. I look forward to it. I've had a lot of fun talking on the phone with you today, and like I said, you brightened my day, so I really appreciate it. I was going to say, and I hope whoever's listening enjoyed this conversation as much, and hopefully it brightened their day too. Because that's all the goal is, man. And, have some fun, giggle a little bit, and, mend yourself a little bit. So, I was going to say, I've had a blast, Mr. Brandon. I'm actually going to get going myself just because I got a few things I got to take care of before I lay down and watch the Blacklist. But yeah, I was going to say, I've had a blast. Thank you so much for having me, man. And I will chat at you later.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see you later then. Have a great rest of your day.
Sounds good,
Ryan.
Brandon.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. Just before you go, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Ryan. That was a great interview. And I also wanted to thank my school, Powell County High School, for letting me use their podcast equipment and their computers. Also, a big shout out to you, the listener, for giving this a listen. I would really appreciate if you guys could subscribe and share with all your friends and have them subscribe too. And also follow me on Spotify. Once again, thank you so much for listening to that great interview, and have a great rest of your day.